Welcome to the Single Player Report podcast, and today I'm going to talk about a whole bunch of stuff, starting with a movie review, and then we're going to talk about a couple of games that I just kind of want to kind of give my thoughts on. Um, I also do movie reviews for the podcast here and there. So I wanted to review a new movie. What movie is that? Supergirl. I watched Supergirl yesterday, because today is now the next day, Saturday. And honestly, with this movie and stuff, I wasn't really that excited for it. It looked cool. The trailers look cool. They look interesting. And I will admit, watching the trailers, I got a little teary eyed because the story is about Supergirl trying to save her dog. Her dog gets poisoned, and she needs to find an antidote in like 3 days, or he will die. And her dog is Crypto, and it like that trailer got me teary eyed because it's about a dog. I love my dog. My dog's literally right behind me. She has her paw digging into my back because she is scratching her back, and so she's using me as a thing to hold her in prey place. Like, she's literally doing that right now. She's digging into my back. But yeah. So I will admit, that emotion, that kind of element, kind of gets me teary eye and stuff. And so I went into this movie hoping to like it very much, and here's the thing. I did enjoy it. I actually really did enjoy this. This was a fun movie. Is this my movie of the year? No, I would definitely have to think Obsession is still my favorite movie of the year so far. I thought it was like going to fight between Obsession and Disclosure Day. I still like Disclosure Day. I very much still love Disclosure Day, but I still think about Obsession a lot more than I have been thinking about Disclosure Day. I will be honest. So Obsession's still very high up there. And but I enjoyed this movie. This was a fun movie. Did it have some problems here and there? It feels like they're trying to, like, there was some, like, the showing like Krypton and stuff. It feels like they tried to retcon some stuff with Superman here and there. But it was so minor that I was like, that's fine. It was like kind of like a minor kind of retcon. I'm not going to fully explain it because it'd be kind of spoiler. But it did like have some good moments. Like, we follow multiple characters throughout the movie. We follow, Supergirl, Kara, and we follow this one little girl whose family was brutally murdered by the guy who poisoned Crypto and stole Supergirl's spaceship. But it was moments before that. Like, this girl, her family died. Her father was a blacksmith who made these amazing swords and weapons. And the villain of the movie, whose name is completely leaving my brain. He shows up in the trailer. Pretty sure. Like, apparently he's not comic accurate. I don't know what he looks like, but that's him. Apparently in the comic, he has like full like hair and beard, and he doesn't have these little beads covering his face, which I guess it makes him look more alien. I'm not really sure. But I mean, honestly, he was a very generic villain. I didn't the villain I didn't give a shit about. I was like, okay, this is a villain just to be a villain. It was so like, eh. But he kills this guy. He kills this girl's like family, and like I said, her father was a blacksmith who made weapons. He comes in to get the weapons and stuff. He takes a piece of pie, and he was like, I need the weapons. And the father's like, here's the key. Just go and take all the weapons you need. Like, you take up my life's work. Like, they didn't put up a fight. They were willing to give him the weapon stuff. And then, like uh, the little girl's brother sees that she's standing there, and he's listening to music. He's got his headphones on, which I thought was kind of funny. That aliens also had headphones and listen to music. He's just listening to music in the room because these are people on a different planet. It's not Earth, so these are random people on a different planet. And he's listening to music, and he looks over and sees that his sister, who looks deathly terrified and concerned, is listening to the conversation between her parents and the villain. And he's not listening. He's not really knowing what's going on. He's not hearing the conversation. He's listening to music. So he takes off his music and he scares her. He jumps out of the door and goes boo, and the villain fucking throws an axe and kills him. This is the beginning part of the movie, so it's not really a spoiler. It's her motivation to go after the villain. And I just thought that was silly. I was like, that's fucking silly. And it causes the mother to try to kill him, and then he kills her, and then the father tries to kill him, and again the villain kills the father, but leaves the daughter alive, and they burn the place down. And I was just like, I mean, why did they leave her alive? I guess it was just like they didn't see her as a threat or anything. So I was like, okay, that's fine. I just thought it was silly that the brother came out like, woo! Like, why are you doing that? Like, take off the headphones. Like, if I saw my sister, who looked deathly terrified and concerned, just sitting outside of my door in the hallway, I would be like, what's going on? I wouldn't be like, boo, jump scare and shit. I thought that was just very, very silly. I thought that was silly. Why are you doing that? Why are you doing that? But she goes, the girl goes to this bar where Supergirl is at, and she asks everyone, "Hey, will you will you help me get revenge and kill this guy, and you can have my father's sword." And it's an amazing sword, and this big guy comes in, and everyone's making fun of her. All the scum in this bar making fun of her. This big alien guy comes up, steals the sword from her, walks outside to his alien animal ride, and Supergirl is like, "Hey, she's drunk," and you're like, "How is she drunk? How is she able to drink?" Well, a red sun can allow her to be normal. So she can. So this planet has a red sun, and like it comes up in the day, even though it was a night and stuff. It has a red sun, and she's affected by it, so she can drink and be an alcoholic and party or whatever. And she goes out and gets the sword, and he's beating her up and stuff. And at one point she falls. She's like bleeding in the back of her head. She goes, "Oh, look at that!" She's laughing because she's bleeding, but she's still able to kick his ass and shit. And then she goes to sleep, and she is passed out in her ship. And the little girl finds her, knocks on her door, and be like, "I need your help." And she's like, I don't want to help you. They go outside. And so Crypto can like fly around, probably go to the bathroom and stuff. And she's like, "Come on, Crypto, let's go." The bad guy finds her ship, takes her ship, and then Crypto sees it, flies after him, and he poisons the dog, and the story continues on. And I've seen a lot of complaints where people like, Supergirl's an asshole. She's unlikable. And honestly, she's not unlikable to me. I didn't find her unlikable at all. I thought she was an asshole, but I understand why she was. She sees the world how it really is. That's what she literally says. She's like, "I see the world how it really is." While my cousin, Superman Clark, he sees the good in everyone. And at the moment in time, she's not really like happy with her life. She's very much depressed and like Like I just don't care. I don't know who I am. I don't know where is home. And at this point in time, crypto is my only home. And without him, I'm completely gone. So it makes sense that she is like this asshole character where she doesn't really care about anything because she literally saw, unlike Clark, who was a baby and never truly saw her home blow up, she witnessed her home get destroyed. And not just get destroyed, but her people were dying. She saw her family be poisoned for radiation. They explain how this small family was, this small like city was still able to stay alive and stuff, which I guess that's more spoilerish. It has flashbacks here and there. Like she came after the destruction of Krypton, and there was only like a small amount of Kryptonians who still lived, and they slowly were dying because of the radiation from kryptonite and stuff. And it shows her how she just is done with the world, and she's just like, and I understand that. I very much understand. Like I get people like, she's an asshole, she's an awful character. That's her character arc, though. She very much grows as a character for the rest of the movie. She very much grows to be better than what she was. And even then, I don't see her as completely unlikable. It's like she helped people who were in need. She very much helped when she needed to. But she wasn't like a complete and total like dickhead or a complete and total awful character. Like, she very much has a character arc, and I don't know, I don't really get the complaint where people are like, she's just a freaking completely just an asshole. She's super unlikable. And I'm like, no, she's not. She's just not, like, fully comfortable with people, and she's just wants to be alone, and she hates that this situation happened to her because she just wanted to just go around party for her birthday and just drink. Just drink and drink and drink. I understand that. I feel like people purposely didn't watch this movie. I'm not saying this movie is perfect. Like, it's not. This movie isn't a masterpiece of cinema. It's not a fantastic movie. It's a good movie. It's not bad. It's not awful. It's just good. I didn't fully hate this movie. Again, I didn't think the villain was that interesting, and it got to points where it was like very cliche. I was like, okay, yeah, this part's gonna happen, and this part's gonna happen. Yeah, I was like, okay, yeah, and it did feel messy at some parts because it felt like it was just kind of cramming so much stuff, but it also felt like a fun like adventure movie. It just felt like a fun space adventure movie. Just like going along the paces and stuff, and I very much enjoyed this movie. Like, I didn't think it was amazing. Now, the one thing I do want to say is, I'm going to talk about Jason Momoa. I never thought he worked as Aquaman. I don't know. He never gave off Aquaman to me. Like, I didn't hate his Aquaman. I thought it was a good version of that character. But I never thought he was like Aquaman. So when I heard he was going to be Lobo in the new DC universe, I was like, holy shit, that actually sounds like perfect casting. And I gotta admit, Jason Momoa as fucking Lobo is perfect casting, and I kind of would love a Lobo movie just about him, or a mini series or something, because he's fucking incredible as Lobo. Like, oh my god, like I loved the scenes where he was on as Lobo, because Lobo is an asshole. He's an awful person. Like he kills people just because for money and stuff. He's a bounty hunter, and they even say in the movie, if you know anything about his lore and stuff, um, he killed his entire planet, and he can't die. He genuinely cannot die. He can't die. He's like immortal, fully immortal, and I love Lobo in this movie. Uh, like he's not a hero, and I can't even really say he's not a person you should be looking up to like at all. But I would love a mini series or a movie just about Lobo, maybe based on the Christmas comic. That's one of the most like famous comics of his, where I think he's hunting Santa Claus and shit. Like, oh man, that would be fucking amazing. Like seriously, like Jason Momoa as Lobo is perfect casting. I loved when he was on screen. I truly loved when he was on screen. When I thought he was Aquaman, I was like, I like Jason Momoa as an actor. I thought he's a decent actor and stuff. I just never really saw him as Aquaman. As Lobo, this is perfect fucking casting. And I need a movie just about him or a mini series. Like, give me something. Come on. Come on. This was amazing. This was great. And overall, I enjoyed this movie. I didn't think this was awful. I didn't think this was terrible. And the funny thing is, there's a character in this movie. There's a scene where they're on this bus, this spaceship bus. It's basically just a bus, which we do see like in this shot. We see in this shot, and then we see in this shot. So there's a character on the bus where there's a bus driver and then a translator, a little tiny translator alien. And the guy, he speaks this alien language. The bus driver speaks the alien language. And then the little translator, who's on this little machine, comes in the shot. And it's Seth Rogen. I heard the voice. It's like, Seth Rogen? And I was like, was that Seth Rogen? That sounded exactly like Seth Rogen. And then the character showed up a couple more times during this whole sequence. And I was like, yeah, that's 100% Seth Rogen. I was like, whoa, he's in this. I thought that was funny. I was like, well, that wasn't expecting to hear Seth Rogen in this movie. Overall, I think this movie's fine. I think this is a good action movie. Definitely don't go in thinking like Superman. This is not as good as Superman. Superman is one of the best movies ever, and it's not even directed by James Gunn. I do believe he wrote the script for this. Kinda, I wasn't fully writing the script, but he wrote some of it. Maybe don't quote me on that though. I think he might like maybe. I know he's definitely like he oversees stuff and he was a producer of this movie. Definitely. This is not as good as Superman. Like, this movie is definitely not as good as Superman. But I did not hate this movie as a lot of people seems to hate this. And people do have good reasons to hate it. The one argument I really don't agree with is Supergirl's like an asshole. That's her character arc. Like, that's her character arc. Like, of course. But she's not so unlikable to where you're just like, I couldn't stand her. I very much liked her. I was like, she was fine. I liked this movie. I enjoyed this movie. I thought it was a fun time. Not as good as Superman, and I definitely think the next like James Gunn directed project is going to be probably definitely better than this. But as a second DC Universe movie, it's pretty good. It was paced well. It was it told an interesting story. It had a lot of good moments. I definitely think the villain of the story wasn't as interesting. But overall, I like this movie. It was good. And I thought this action scene right here was fun. I was like, this is fun. So I enjoyed this movie. I definitely enjoyed it more than I thought it was going to. But I'm glad I watched it. I definitely will watch it again, maybe not in theaters, but when it gets released on video. But I like this movie. It's pretty good. So we're gonna move on to talking about gameplay stuff, just about a bunch of game previews that I've seen and watched. And we're just going to talk about the gameplay I was watching and stuff. So the first one is Hellraiser Revival. Now, this game is awesome, very much. I originally watched the um, IGN video talking about this, and it sounded like a great game and stuff. Like, but I will say in the IGN video, the two hosts talking about the game. This is stuff that's being shown off at like Summer Games Fest. This is all stuff that happened at Summer Games Fest and stuff. And they recently just uploaded their video like a couple days ago, I believe, talking about Hellraiser Revival. And I watched their IGN's video talking about it. And the guy begins, like the two hosts, one of the guy begins and he's talking to the other guy like, I don't know if I can really call Hellraiser, like the movies, horror. And the comments were like going off at him. Even I was like, what? What? I commented saying, I'm sorry, what? You don't know if you can call Hellraiser horror. What else would you call it? A wholesome family movie? What? In the movie, if you've seen Hellraiser, it deals with hell. There's a deadites coming out of a puzzle box. It deals with a scene. There's literally a scene in the movie where a guy is skinned. He's just like his whole skin's off, and it's just the gory muscle and shit. Yeah, no, I would very much say that's horror. Very much say. And then later on, he says, I haven't really watched the Hellraiser movies. And I go, that explains it. That explains it. You can't say it's not horror if you haven't watched it. What? So, but I mostly want to talk about like the gameplay stuff they showed off in the game, and it seems very cool. Like I really do. Like I'm very much excited for this game. It very much seems like they're doing a lot of cool elements. Like it seems like it's mixing like you know, Resident Evil 7, maybe even like um uh Condemned, you know, game Condemned and stuff. And it seems to be very like talks about like sexuality and shit like that, being sexual and all that. Like I very much am fascinated by this game and how it looks and how it plays. And in the game, they said it was a prequel. It took place like a good years before the events of the first movie. And you use the puzzle box, which was I thought was very cool. Like they explain how you use the puzzle box as like a weapon. Like you can have your melee and your guns, but you can also use the puzzle box to like move shit around. Like use it as like you could like grab other things and throw it at them. Like you just saw there, like it looked like he shot a firebar or something. Like it sounds like you can use the puzzle box for like action mechanics and stuff. And it's look at that. Look at that. It's very cool. Like this looks good. This looks fun. It says cultist, so I'm wondering if you're like I thought what I've seen in the trailer and stuff, you're fighting like you're going through hell and stuff, but maybe you're fighting like actual people on Earth as well, cultists who worship the puzzle box. So I'm honestly I'm very excited for this game. Like that section very much showed like very like action set piece. But it did show some like weird like moments. Like even IGN said there was moments that felt like it came straight from like PT, like very PT like moments, which even this seems very kind of PT-esque in a way. You're being chased by a monster. Not really PT, like other horror games and stuff, and it looks like you're fighting like cultists, demons, um deadites, which I'm guessing you won't be able to actually fight the deadites, probably, but I could be wrong. I like everything about this. This looks really good. Like, I really do like. It looks really fun. Like, this looks really good. I think this is going to be a really good game, and I'm truly excited to play this game. It comes out, I think, in October, I believe, and I want to play this. I want to play this so bad. I don't know anything about. I don't really know a lot. I do know this game on Steam is being labeled as a like adult game. It's got like the sexual content label on it. So I'm wondering if the PC version will be just as heavily censored as the console versions, because this game is coming out on consoles and stuff. But it deals with a lot of sexual themes and stuff. And I know a lot of games, like there's a game called Lust from Beyond, which deals with sexual themes, and it has a console version, but it's called the M-rated version because they had to heavily censor a lot of their game because, again, it's a horror game that deals with sexual themes. Like they're going to show a lot of sexual content in it. But it's very much like Lust from Beyond is a horror game. It's not a porn game. It is a horror game, and it just deals with like sexual themes and stuff. Like I would say very much is close to like Nosferatu. And there's also a game called Agony. When that game first released, they had to heavily censor stuff so it could get released on consoles. And then a year later, they released the unrated version on Steam, which had content that they wanted to include. And Agony is a horror game where you're in hell. And so they have, again, themes of sexual things. There's demons that have vaginas on their face. There's like a tree that gives you vagina apples. Which is I do believe, in the console version, but it's like censored or something. So there's a lot of fucked up shit in Agony. And it takes place in hell, so I think they very much know what they wanted, and they very much like delve deep into the uncomfortableness of sexual stuff and also just fucked up shit, because it's hell. I'm not saying Agony is the best horror game ever. I definitely think Lust from Beyond is better than Agony, I will admit. But then I don't think they're truly that awful. And I definitely think this game very much deals with themes of like sexual things of like Lust from Beyond and stuff. So I'm very curious how this game is heavily censored. I know the console version is going to be censored as all hell, but is also the PC version. Like, and I say censor, but like I do believe they were going to have to censor a lot. Like they probably had a lot more crazy idea to deal with the sexual themes, and the publishers were like, no, you're going to have to censor that because we want to release this on PlayStation 5 and we won't be able to if we allow you to do that. They probably definitely had to censor some ideas here and there. Like you're seeing in the footage that is censored in the footage how fucking fucked up and like sexual themes it has. So I'm very curious. I'm definitely curious how censored the PC version is. And if you do want to play this game, you might have to turn on. If you want to play this game, you're going to play it on PC, and you have like sexual content, adult content turned off on Steam. Sadly, it seems like this game is going to force you to turn that on because it won't show up if you have that turned off. Which I will say sucks, but as far as I know, it's still got like the adult like content tag. I'll check. I will quickly correct myself. And if I'm wrong, then you know I'm wrong. It did have it, so I'm not wrong, but if they probably updated it to where they removed it. Let me see. Oh, no, they removed it. Okay. There, at one point, it did have sexual themes, like sexual content under the like it was like this brownish thing under the above the planned release date and under the add to wish list area. So in between that stuff. But it looks like they updated it. I still think it should still be there because the game very much still deals with sexual content, but that probably confirms that this game is going to be very censored on both PC and consoles, which is fine. Like as long as they can still tell the version that they want, it's fine. Because giving I think what's going to hurt them the most if the game was rated adult only, that would definitely hurt them the most, very much. Because those games do not fare well on Twitch. They do not fare well on Twitch, and people very much would want to stream this game. The question is people going to? Or I feel like most people who stream this on Twitch will be like, "Am I even allowed to play this game on Twitch?" Even though there'd be a category for it. And like people very much were afraid if they were going to be able to stream Cyberpunk, because that game shows dicks and pussy and boobs and shit. So people very much were like, am I going to get banned if I play this? But it's like, no, you're fine. If there's a category for the game on Twitch, you will not be banned. If it's an adult only game and there's no category for it, then yeah, there's a chance where you might get banned just by playing the game on Twitch. But as long as there's a category for the game, then you're fine. I feel like I'm laughing a lot. I just realized I feel like I'm laughing a lot because I find things funny. I don't know why. I'm like right there. What the fuck? Oh my gosh. Let's move on. Let's move on to Silent Hill Townfall, which is a game I'm absolutely looking forward to. And this video says it's like the closest thing we're getting to PT. I guess PT. I don't know. It says PT, and I very much find that a little annoying because technically PT was just okay. I feel like Hideo Kojima has confirmed this so many times when the game was being released. But PT was just to trick people into thinking it was an indie game. It was not showing you what actual Silent Hills was going to be like. PT was just there to kind of trick you into thinking it was just like a generic indie horror game. And then when it was revealed to be a game made by Hideo Kojima and Guillermo del Toro, and it's a Silent Hill game, then that was the subversion. But I think he very much has said the game was going to play a little bit different. It was going to have some similarities, but not extremely. And I do believe it probably would have had combat at least. I don't know. I'm hoping OD very much shows what the concept of Silent Hills is going to be like. But it says the closest thing we're getting to, I'm going to say probably Silent Hills should be the better title. But what I've seen so far of this game has been absolutely incredible. I love Silent Hill very much, and I love what Konami's been doing. I love Silent Hill 2 remake. I love Silent Hill. I did enjoy. Eventually, at first, my first impression of Silent Hill F was I don't really care for this. It's fine, but I wish it was better. But over time, I very much have changed my opinion to where I actually love the game. And I enjoy Short Message, even though I have not went back to play it. But I liked Short Message. So and I find it funny. Konami, during the showcase when they're fully showing off this game, they're in their Silent Hill transmission talking about just exclusively Silent Hill Townfall. And I also believe it was when they announced that we're getting a Silent Hill 1 remake developed by Bloober Team. They kept on saying this is the first ever first-person Silent Hill game. And technically, that's not true. That's not true at all. And of course, people will say, well, that's not true because Silent Hill 4 had first-person elements. And yes, it did. Silent Hill 4 very much had first-person elements. It's not the first-person game. There was a mobile game that was a dungeon crawler that was in first person, entirely in first person. And Silent Hill: The Short Message is entirely in first person. So this is not the first. So even if you don't count when I say mobile game, it was a flip phone mobile game, I do believe. It might have released also on iOS on a touchscreen version, but it released first on mobile phones, and it was very much like a dungeon crawler, Silent Hill game. And then it also had a sequel. It's called Silent Hill Mobile, I believe. And yeah, it was in first person, but if you don't want to count that because it you can't play it now unless you emulate it, and it wasn't canon to Silent Hill overall. And also, that's I'm forgetting there was a Silent Hill arcade game. Yeah, there was a on-rail shooter arcade game called Silent Hill the Arcade, which combined a lot of elements of Silent Hill, and then told like this like a story that was like referenced in one of the games about this boat, and that was entirely in first person. So that was a first person game. But again, if you don't want to classify it, if Konami doesn't classify it as canon or anything, like this is the first mainline first person game. But I would very much argue that Silent Hill: The Short Message is officially the first ever Silent Hill first person game. And you could say, well, PT, but I definitely 100% don't think Konami's gonna classify PT as an official Silent Hill game anymore, since they've canceled it and they try to bury it. So they try to bury it so far. So yeah, I can see them not really saying that's the first person Silent Hill game, and technically it isn't because it's only revealed to be a Silent Hills teaser at the very end. And again, Hideo Kojima has very much made it clear that that game was just like to trick people into thinking it was an indie game, an indie horror game. So I think it was giving you themes of the story and stuff, but it wasn't fully what the game was going to be like themes of the like some elements. It was just showing you that Hideo Kojima can do horror very well, and it was also to trick you into thinking it was like a generic like indie horror game. Like I truly believe if no one ever saw the reveal that it was a Silent Hills game, no one would remember it as well as they do. I do believe that if it wasn't revealed as a Silent Hill game, I don't think people would remember it as fondly as people do now, which is like fine. Like I'm not saying that's a complaint or anything. I'm just saying I think people won't fondly ever like, remember it as well. But we're going on to Townfall, which is Konami's official first person game, and I've always said this game very much kind of remind me of Alien Isolation, and it's developed by Screenburn, who was originally known as No Code, and they're made by ex like developers of Creative Assembly, people who helped developed like they worked on Alien Isolation. And the gameplay that I've seen of this game, it very much is like got some Alien Isolation inspiration here and there. Like it has like this portable TV that they use to show like places to go. Like it shows you like where to go, and also shows you if there's an enemy nearby, and the other side of like a thing. Like it shows you where an enemy is and stuff. So it's very much like the tracker in Alien Isolation. And this game does have combat like Alien Isolation. If you fully play the game, you do have guns and you have melee weapons, but of course, the game very much advises you not to use your weapons as much as you can. Only need to use them as you really need to, and it seems like this game is also that. It like you have weapons and you can use them, but it seems like it's very much like a last resort because you do see like there's stealth elements here and there. So I think it's very much. I think these developers are very much taking inspiration from Alien Isolation, and I'm 100% full for that. You do have a melee weapon and you have a revolver, which we do see in the trailer. Not really showing a lot of new footage so far. We've seen like the same footage over and over again. And I'm so excited for this. It comes out in September. It's cheap. So people have speculated how long this game's going to be because this game's like, how much was it? It was like $50, $49.99, 60 if you buy the deluxe edition, which I'd like to try to get the deluxe edition when I can. But yeah, it's $60 for the deluxe edition, and 49.99 for the standard edition. And the deluxe edition only really gives you the full game, a bonus application, which is like an art book, like a digital art book and a digital soundtrack of the game, which also Silent Hill 2 Remake had, and I do believe Silent Hill 2 Remake had it. And Silent Hill F had like an art book with a digital soundtrack. And then you get an alternate costume, and you also get like alternate like skins for the CRTV, the little portable TV you have, and you get 48-hour access. So I think I want to try to get the deluxe edition so I can make some content before the game releases, because I'm excited for the game very much. This is like a game that's like one of my most anticipated games of the year. I think you can very much clearly tell that my most anticipated games of the year is Silver Pines, Hellraiser, Silent Hill, Townfall, and Ontos. Ontos? Yeah, the game being developed by Frictional Games, and it's a spiritual successor to Soma, which is like a great game, one of my favorite games from Frictional Games, who developed Amnesia, The Dark Descent, Amnesia Rebirth, and Amnesia the Bunker. They had not developed A Machine for Pigs. That was the Chinese Room, who made Still Wakes the Deep, which I love. That's a great game. And Dear Esther, which I fucking love. It's one of my favorite walk-in sims. But this game, I'm so excited for this. Like, this looks like a great game. And again, like, there is combat, as you saw. There's a melee weapon, and you do get a revolver. And I wonder, what other weapons do you get? Because in Alien Isolation, you got, let's see, you got the melee weapon, which can be used as like an actual tool for environments and stuff. And then you got the revolver, the flamethrower, which wasn't really a weapon. It was a weapon to scare off the xenomorph, but you couldn't really kill it. Or you could burn people. You can burn some of the other guys, but I don't think you could use it to kill enemies and stuff. And then you had the shotgun. So there was 4 weapons, and there was only a select few times where you could actually use it. There's only one moment in Alien Isolation where they literally, like, it was after you set the xenomorph, like you set, like, you shoot it off into space and stuff, and you get locked in a room where you have to shoot a bunch of working Joes. So that was the only time where you really had to use your weapons. Like, that was like once in the entire game, and the rest of the game is where you can use your weapons and stuff in Alien Isolation, like your guns and stuff. But the game very much like tells you to not do that. Like, it really wants you to kind of stealth or have the other enemies use their weapons and stuff. Because if you didn't know, if you shot a gun and the xenomorph was still there, it would hear you, even if you think you're far away from it. No matter what, there was always a xenomorph somewhere in the game, and it will automatically spawn as soon as you make a noise that's loud enough for it to be attracted to, like the the sound of a gunshot. So I very much think this is also going to be that, where it's not fully a stealth horror game, but it's also like you it probably like you are very much only going to use your weapons as little as you possibly can, and only really need to see you saw the revolver there. Only really need to use it as much as you can, and I'm excited for this game very much, and it's so cheap. So I'm excited. I'm excited. The next game is the game that my friend wanted me to talk about, and it's a game that I'm actually excited for because it looks good. Oh, full screening. I mean, to do that. This looks good. Like what I've seen from this is from like the summer games fest and all that. Like it was, I think it was in the main summer games fest showcase, and it's very much like a big narrative game, very similar to like Sony exclusive games like Naughty Dog games or Santa Monica games, like specifically God of War. And I can very much say this game is very heavily like I would say this is like kind of like a Chinese God of War. Like you could just tell by the combat already that this is very like God of War here. And it looks fun. I love the combat. Uh like this looks really good. And again, it's like a very narrative story game similar to like God of War 2018 and Ragnarok, where there's a lot of like story elements and quick time events. And it looks really fun. Ooh, look at that. There's a lot of gore, a lot of elements. I would very much say this is like a Chinese like God of War. And in the trailer, we saw like a big battle of like people fighting in this big battle area. So many enemies and stuff. And just like people killing each other. So I'm excited to see how big like some of the battles can get in this game, and if that's like a big common thing of this game, like having like these big battles and stuff. I also wonder how much of God of War this will be, because I just think this is like 19 minutes gameplay, and it's a very like heavily scripted sequence. Like I don't think this is anything really big, but I wonder if this will also have like that semi open world element to like God of War 2018 and Ragnarok had. So that's very much like a semi open world game, which had more of a linear design to it, but also it was very much an open world game. I wouldn't say fully open world. It was like you couldn't go wherever you wanted, but it was like semi open world, which were my favorite type of open world games. Honestly, I love more semi open world design, like a God of War 2018 or Indiana Jones and games like that. The combat looks really good. Like I love how this looks. It's very like fun and very like responsive. Like there's also dodging stuff. Like I would say this is very like God of War 2018 or like Hellblade in its like design. Like it looks really good. And again, it's very cinematic. This is like a very cinematic narrative game, like you would see in from Naughty Dog or Santa Monica Studios. So it looks so good. Like this is a game that I'm very excited to play because it looks good. What I've seen of it, and I do believe this is a new studio. This is a new like Chinese studio. This is not like this is like their first ever game, I truly believe, and it is kind of more like, I say indie, independent, as I don't think they have a publisher. They're not owned by Sony or anything. Independent in that sense, but this has still got a bigger budget than in like actual indie game in a way. I could be wrong. It could be funded by like Tencent or something. I'm not really sure. But as far as I know, I do believe this is like a new up and coming studio, and I'm excited for this. It looks good. It looks great. It looks like the games I do like to play, like a God of War 2018 or a Last of Us Part 2. So I'm looking forward to this game. I very much don't think they show like I think I think this game might just be very linear in its story. So I'm looking forward to this. I really am. I don't think it comes out this year. I think it comes out next year, I believe. But I could be wrong. Let's see. When does it say? No, does it say in the description? Does it say at the end of the video? No. Yeah, it just says visit for more information. So I'm not really sure. But this looks good. Like, I'm excited for this. I actually am excited for this. And I cannot wait to play this when it actually comes out. Now, I did see a comment down below that I thought was funny. Even though I understand why Naughty Dog hasn't been able to release the game they have, because PlayStation very much wanted them to make that live service game, and that took so much of their time that that they weren't able to make a single player game, and then they canceled it and started focusing on the single player game. So I understand that, but I still find this comment funny. Like, nowadays, everyone's making Naughty Dog games instead of Naughty Dog. I think it should have been except Naughty Dog. But I find that, I thought that's funny. But I do understand why Naughty Dog hasn't released a game yet. They have released a game technically. The Last of Us Part 1 is a game they released for PS5 that they actually fully developed. And also The Last of Us Part 2, but I would say more The Last of Us Part 1 because that was a fully remade game. While The Last of Us Part 2 remaster was just a better graphically port of, I don't know why it's called Last of Us Remastered, because it's not really a remaster, it's just a port, honestly, with more like better graphics. They look the same to me. I don't know. Like, there's better like resolution or something, I think. Like elements for the Pro console, at least, like PS5 Pro console. But Last of Us Part 1 remake, the remake was fully remade from the ground up. So technically they did release a game for this generation. But really, I'm not actually going to count that because it's not like, it's not fully the game I was hoping they would release. Like, I understand why, because PlayStation stuff, like, they were really, really banking on that live service stuff, and it really bit them in the ass. Of course, like, the game started development as a multiplayer mode just for The Last of Us Part 2, and then it became full-fledged into its own like game. But I wonder how much of that decision really was like Naughty Dog, or if it was like PlayStation, like, oh, I see you guys are making this multiplayer game. How about you expand it into like a full-fledged, like, um, the standalone game, and not just like an add-on for the uh Last of Us Part 2, because we're doing live service, so it'll probably be good. And then Bungie came in and they're like, yeah, you guys would probably have to stop making single player games. And then they're bad. But Night Dog's like, well, no, we don't want to do that. So we're going to cancel this, which I think was the right decision. But it also kind of bit them in the ass as well, because they have no games releasing this year so far. And some people are speculating Intergalactic might not even release for the PlayStation 5. It might release just for PlayStation 6, which would suck. Because I'm still convinced they might delay the PlayStation 6. I am convinced they might delay it. But, well, I'm not really sure. But I hope we see more stuff about Intergalactic, hopefully sometime next year. Because definitely, the next 2 games for PlayStation is Wolverine and God of War Le Fay. Those are the 2 next big games for PlayStation. And I think they're very much going to release God of War Le Fay next year. And then hopefully 2028 we get Intergalactic. But there's a chance that it might be even 2029. Because I don't know. It might even be delayed further, because I'm still convinced like PlayStation 6 is going to be delayed because of the whole like console prices going up and stuff. So it's just been a mess. It's just been a mess this generation. It's not really been a mess for third-party developers and indie games. It's been fucking great for third parties and indie game developers, but for like the main console developers like Xbox and PlayStation, and even sometimes like Nintendo, even though I think out of all of them they've been doing much better than PlayStation and Xbox, because at least they've been releasing games on their console. And Xbox is doing a little bit better than PlayStation, because at least they have announced like a good amount of PlayStation exclusive titles and have released exclusive games for both Xbox and PC. Even though they have been branching out into like releasing on all consoles and stuff. But PlayStation very much is just like, have not been doing anything. It's annoying. I would say it's very annoying. But, what will you do? I'm hoping RAM prices get better, and I'm hoping console prices go down again. And I'm hoping the next generation is better. Like, I'm hoping PlayStation 6 is better. But so far, it seems like everything is going downhill. And it might be this best to just probably get a PC at this point. Which, again, pre-built PC. Building your own at this moment is fucking out the window because of the prices of RAM. But pre-built PCs, I feel like, is the best option, because they're going to lower their costs and stuff. I don't know. I'm hoping everything gets better. I hope everything gets better, because this generation has just been a headache. It's just been a headache. Oh, it's been a headache. But that will do it for today's episode. That will do it. Well, I think I talked about a good amount of stuff today. I kind of felt like I probably wasn't going to say a lot about Supergirl, so I thought I would throw in talking about the other the other games and stuff that I'm looking forward to, and my friend um, uh, wanted me to talk about Blood Message. So I did, and like I am excited for that game. I really am. Like it looks good, and it looks like a game that I very much will just love, like very much will enjoy, and just like have the best time, because it's the type of game I do like. I do very much love narrative, like Naughty Dog, God of War style games, and I'm hoping it is a little bit more linear towards like God of War, where there's like side quests and all that, and like different like challenges and stuff like that. Where it has like not an open world, like a semi-open world. I do not. I will admit, like open world games are not fully my thing. I love open world games. I love Fallout New Vegas. I love The Witcher 3. I do love games that are open world. I love Skyrim and games like that. But I I feel like I more go towards like games that are semi open world. And semi open world just means it has still a very linear design, but you can like branch off, do side quests here and there, and it's like a little tiny open world map. Like the best example is if you ever played Indiana Jones is semi open world. The new Indiana Jones game and the Great Circle. God of War is semi open world because the game has a very linear path. There's very different branches of semi open world games. There are some where the map is a little bit more open, but it's still very small and condensed. There are games like Mafia where it's very linear, and once in a while you have like a little area you can explore and stuff, but the story is very linear. Or um, God of War, where it's extremely just a linear path, but once in a while there'd be different paths that branch off, but it's not like a open world you can fully explore. And it's very like semi open world. Like there's very different. Like if you want, there's a tons of great videos going in depth about what is the different like branches of different type of open world, like semi open world games, like from soft games like Bloodborne, Liza P, which is not from soft game, but the Souls like Dark Souls are semi open world, while Elden Ring is open world. Like it has again like those like older Souls like games like Bloodborne, Liza P, and Dark Souls are another different branch of semi-open world, and you can even kind of classify like Metroidvanias maybe as semi-open world in a way, but not fully because they are in their own different category. Like, but like you like definitely recommend videos talking about it, going more in depth. But like if it's not if it's not fully allowing you to go wherever you want and just do whatever you want in a big open world free like space or movement and stuff, then it's not fully open world. It's like a semi open world. Definitely if you play the games I've talked about, then you would get the idea. Like I know I'm not really explaining it very well at all. But yeah, this will definitely do it now, because I think I'm just this time just rambling about nonsense at this point. So if you enjoyed this video, give it a like. This is a podcast series that I do. It seems kind of random whenever I feel like uploading a video and stuff, but I try to be at least weekly, at least. But I wanted to get my thoughts out about Supergirl and talk about like random stuff here and there. And like if you like the video, down below, tell me. Give the video a like and tell me your thoughts about the Supergirl movie. Did you enjoy it? Are you looking forward to go see it? and telling your thoughts about the games that I do talk about, like Blood Message. You excited for it? You excited for Hellraiser? You excited for Silent Hill Townfall? Like I am. Like, tell me give me your thoughts. Tell me what you think down in the comments down below. It helps me out if you like the video and comment, because it branches out more to more people and stuff. And I have a Twitch channel, which is twitch.tv/JarvyRocks. That is twitch.tv/JarvyRocks. There's the URL on the screen, and the link is in the description as well. Do give me a follow over there. I play a whole bunch of games. I stream games. I play whatever type of games I feel like playing. I am very much a variety streamer, but mostly horror, but I play whatever games I want to play, like third person, first person, narrative games, like, Blood Message or God of War, games like that. But I also mostly just play horror because I love horror games. But I also do play other games that are AAA to AA to indie, like whatever I feel like playing. If it's a 3D platformer, 2D platformer, or a game like Uncharted or God of War, Silent Hill, or Resident Evil, I will play it live on Twitch, and then I will upload the video maybe as a full game playthrough on YouTube. But do give me a follow, and I do live react to game events like the Summer Games Fest, the Xbox Showcase, State of Play, Nintendo Direct, showcases like that, the Game Awards. I react live to those. So follow me for all that goodness. And subscribe to the channel. I post this podcast on YouTube, and I also like the podcast talks about video game news and movie reviews and stuff like that. So subscribe if you enjoyed this style of video. And I also, as I said, post full game playthroughs. Sometimes they're not full game playthroughs. They're like 5 hours of me playing a game as and like different parts. Like right now I'm uploading my Chronos playthrough, which at the moment there are 2 parts. Well, 1 part's uploaded at the time of speaking this, but I have a video schedule for part 2. And they're like 5 hours long each. But most of the time, I will try to put like a video as a full game playthrough here on YouTube. So if you like the content you're watching, or like whatever you like on this channel, do subscribe. And I will see you guys in the next episode. Bye-bye.